Have you ever spent the whole afternoon cleaning, but your home still looks old and lifeless? Maybe you mopped the floor, scrubbed the kitchen, and organized your closet carefully. But still something feels off, and the space doesn't look the way you hoped it would. If that's the case, you might be making some tiny mistakes that seem minor but quietly take away the freshness of your home. In today's video, we'll go through the 10 most common mistakes. From forgetting to clean the windows, letting cords pile up, to overusing cleaning products or ignoring dirty switches. These are mistakes that cost nothing to fix, but make a huge difference in how clean and polished your space feels. We'll explore each mistake in detail with examples and clear solutions. Some of them you can fix in under 5 minutes. Others may take a bit more attention, but once you address each small detail, your home will feel brighter and much easier to live in. You don't need new furniture. You don't need to repaint, and you don't need extra decorations. You just need to clean the right spots and fix the right issues. And especially at the end of this video, I'll share a very simple principle to help you keep your home feeling fresh without spending too much time. So, if you've ever felt like you cleaned everything but were still not satisfied, stay with me until the end. Maybe just one small detail that's been overlooked is what's making your home look older than it is. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Your support is what keeps us going and helps us share more meaningful ideas. Thank you for being here. Mistake 1. Cloudy, streaky windows. Windows are the eyes of a home. But so many of us forget to care for those eyes. You might mop the floors until they shine, organize everything neatly. But if the windows are still cloudy, streaked, or stained with old rainwater, the entire room will look darker, older, and less cared for. What's especially important is that natural light, when it passes through cloudy glass, loses its clarity. The light becomes dull yellowish and takes away the brightness of your furniture. Even clean items will look like they're covered in a thin layer of dust. And when guests walk into your home, they don't need to look closely. Just a glance at the window frame is enough to sense the difference. Many people clean their windows at the wrong time of day, like during hot sunlight, which makes the water evaporate too fast and leaves behind streaks. Or they use the wrong cleaner, which makes the glass go dull over time. To clean it properly, pick a cool morning. Use warm water with a few drops of gentle dish soap. Wipe gently with a soft cloth to remove dust. Then use a squeegee or crumpled newspaper to dry from top to bottom. Don't let it air dry, that leaves marks. Once the glass is clean again, the light pours in. The space lights up and everything comes back to life. Are you living in a room with forgotten windows? Just try cleaning one pane. You'll feel like the whole house changes color. Mistake 2. Cluttered tabletops. The tabletop is where people's eyes naturally land first when entering a room. A clean, flat, nearly empty surface makes the whole space feel neat and comfortable. But the moment your table is covered with papers, keys, bills, charging cables, or little bags you haven't put away yet, even with a spotless floor, the room still feels messy. This doesn't mean you're untidy. It's just a habit. One item here, one item there, day after day, until eventually there's no space left. An unread letter, a notebook, a forgotten cup. Everything piles up, and covers the entire surface. Our brains judge cleanliness based on flat surfaces. When they're clear, we breathe easier. But when they're full, even with clean stuff, the room feels chaotic and heavy. To fix this, you don't have to clean everything at once. Just divide your table into small sections, tidy up little by little. Every item on the table should have a reason to be there. If not, put it in a drawer, a storage box, or back where it belongs. A small tray for remotes, a jar for pens, a file for papers. When everything has its spot, it's easier to keep things neat, and the clean feeling returns right away. Have you looked at your tabletop lately? Is there anything sitting there that no longer has a reason to stay? Mistake 3. Dirty baseboards. Baseboards are the line where the wall meets the floor. They're not high, not eye-catching, and not in a spot we easily notice. And because of that, they often get ignored during cleaning. We sweep, mop, clean the kitchen counters and windows, but what about the baseboards? That's where dust hair, pet fur mop, streaks and scuff marks quietly collect over time. The tricky part is, you might not notice it up close. But from a distance, or when the afternoon light hits just right, the dusty edge along the floor becomes very obvious. It's when the whole wall looks like it's changed color and the room feels several years older. A black line along the floor, especially in corners around furniture or beneath chairs, makes people uncomfortable. To fix it, you don't need anything fancy. Just a clean cloth, warm water, with a bit of mild dish soap, and gently scrub along the baseboard, especially the corners and edges beneath cabinets. If you see yellow stains or build-up, add a little baking soda. Do this once a week, and you'll notice how much brighter the room feels. The old tired look disappears. You don't need to repaint. You don't need new floors. Just clean the right spot. And if you don't have time to clean much today, just pick the nearest section of baseboard and wipe it. Just one spot. You'll see the room change. And if you've never paid attention to your baseboards before, the next mistake might surprise you because it doesn't come from dust or clutter. It comes from the very cleaning products you've trusted and used every day. If you found these tips helpful so far, you might also enjoy another video on this channel called 10 Cleaning Tricks to Make Your Home Smell Fresh Every Day. In that video, we share simple, easy tricks that help your home stay fresh and pleasant all week long without using heavy air sprays or harsh chemicals. You might see the tag for that video in the top right corner of your screen in the video description, or you can come back to it after watching this one, because maybe the solution you've been looking for is already waiting right there. Now, let's move on to the next part. Mistake 4. Using too many cleaning products. We often believe that the more cleaning products we use, the cleaner our home will be. A bottle for windows, a bottle for floors, one for disinfecting, and a spray to freshen the air. But in reality, it's the opposite. Using too many chemical cleaners doesn't make things cleaner. It leaves behind a cloudy film on surfaces, a strong smell, and a stuffy feeling in the house. When you wipe the stove with one product spray, the table with another mop, the floor with a third, and spray a separate air freshener, all these ingredients start mixing into something unclear and unpleasant. Wood surfaces feel sticky mirrors, end up streaked, and floors lose their natural shine. Especially for older adults, these mixed scents can cause headaches or even breathing discomfort. Not to mention, the more you use, the more you have to buy. More expense, less result. The solution is to go back to the basics. Most surfaces in your home only need warm water with a few drops of dish soap. mirrors and glass can be cleaned perfectly with diluted white vinegar. For wood, dry wiping regularly is enough, and you only need to use furniture oil once or twice a month. You don't need synthetic fragrances to feel clean. What you need is a home that's airy, light-smelling and pleasant to walk into. And that begins by using less, not more. Do you remember the last time you cleaned your light switches? Mistake 5. Dirty light switches and outlets. In a clean house, sometimes just one small thing is enough to ruin the impression, and light switches and outlets are a perfect example. We touch them dozens of times a day, turning on lights, plugging in chargers, using appliances, but we rarely clean them. Over time, fingerprints grease fine dust, and grey smudges become very visible around the switches, especially on light-coloured walls. The thing is, our eyes are naturally drawn to strong contrasts. A black smudge on a white wall, a dirty edge around an outlet. Even if they're small, they create a negative focal point. And no matter how clean the room is, that one image can make someone think you've overlooked something. But actually, this is one of the easiest things to fix. First, make sure it's safe by turning off the power in that area. Then use a soft cloth that's been wrung almost dry, dip it in diluted dish soap, and wipe around the switches and outlets. For stubborn marks, you can use an old toothbrush and a little baking soda. Finally, dry everything completely before turning the power back on. Just a few minutes, but the effect is huge. Clean switches make the wall look brighter, the room feel newer, and give everyone peace of mind. Do you remember the last time you cleaned your light switches? If not, maybe today's the day to start. Mistake 6. Wilted plants, yellow leaves. House plants aren't just for decoration. They're symbols of life, of breath, and nature inside your home. But if a plant is neglected, its leaves drooping yellowing, or branches broken with no care, given that lively feeling disappears. And in its place, you're left with a sense of tiredness, sadness, and lifelessness. Many people buy plants to beautify their space. But then, life gets busy. They forget, overlook, or stop noticing. A once blooming orchid becomes dry stems. A snake plant by the stairs ends up waterlogged, its leaves slumped to the side. These images make the house feel older, unloved, and less comfortable. To fix it, create a simple plant care routine. Choose plants that match the light in your home. Water properly, not too much. Wipe dust from leaves. Trim dying parts. Move the plant if it's not growing well. If you don't have the time or energy for real plants, consider high-quality faux plants with natural shapes that are easy to clean. A clean, well-placed green plant can lift the mood of an entire room. Do you have a plant at home that needs trimming today? Don't let your greenery become a quiet reminder of neglect. Mistake 7. Tangled cords. No organization. Charger cables. TV cords, rotors, speakers, power strips. Modern life brings more devices, and with them more wires all over the place. If you look around, you'll see even just a few cables hanging across the table, curled behind a cabinet, or trailing near a chair can make the space feel cluttered and disorganized. This isn't your fault. It's just that we often focus on the big things and forget the small ones. Exposed cords make a room feel incomplete, like it's not quite finished. When guests visit, they may hesitate to sit down, worried about tripping. The fix is to group and secure the cords. Use Velcro ties, cord sleeves, or cable clips to organize cords by device. For longer cords, coil and tuck them neatly behind furniture. You can also use adhesive cord guides along walls or under desks. For everyday cords like phone chargers, set up a tray or a nice-looking box to store them when not in use. In the big picture, your home will feel more open, easier to clean, and much more orderly. Are you seeing stray cords around you right now? If yes, then tidying them up today might be the first step to a more professional-looking home. Mistake 8 dirty rugs. Wrong size rugs. Rugs have a big impact on how clean and harmonious a room feels. But they're also one of the most overlooked details. A rug that's too small off-center, or worse, covered in pet hair stains or musty smells, can ruin the feel of the entire space. Some people place a rug in the living room, but don't let the furniture rest on top. The result, the rug floats awkwardly disconnected from the rest of the room. Others use old rugs without proper vacuuming, allowing dust odors and allergens to build up, especially if there are pets or children. A dirty rug isn't just about looks. It can become a breeding ground for bacteria and affect your health. To fix this, choose a rug that fits the size of your room. It should be large enough to go under the edges of your table or sofa to create a feeling of unity. Vacuum both sides of the rug at least twice a week. Deep clean once a month with a proper solution or send it to a professional cleaner. If your rug is too old or faded, replace it with something easier to maintain. A clean, well-fitted rug makes your room feel bigger, more grounded, and far more comfortable. Are you stepping on a rug that no longer feels clean? Mistake 9. Foggy stained mirrors. Mirrors aren't just for checking your reflection. In home design, they reflect light, open up space, and add elegance. But when a mirror gets foggy streaked or develops black spots along the edges, it stops brightening the room and starts making it feel darker, older, and neglected. This is common in bathrooms where mirrors get steamed up often. Many people wipe their mirrors with damp rags or low-quality paper, which only spreads streaks further. Some use the wrong cleaner, leaving behind a dull chemical film. Over time, moisture oxidizes the edges, creating permanent black spots that can't be wiped off. To keep your mirrors clear, use a 1:1 mix of white vinegar and warm water. Wipe with a soft cloth or crumpled newspaper in small circles. Then dry right away, don't let it air dry. If your mirror is in the bathroom, get in the habit of wiping it down with a dry cloth after every shower. For mirrors with black edges, it's best to replace them. A bright mirror helps light travel farther, makes the room feel bigger, and adds a sense of cleanliness. Try wiping the nearest mirror in your home. Today, it may only take 5 minutes, but it can make your whole wall feel new again. Mistake 10. Forgotten finishing details. Not all signs of aging come from dust or clutter. Sometimes they come from a tiny chip in the paint behind a door. A screw is sticking out under the table. A loose cabinet handle. A strip of blackened grout in the kitchen corner. These small things often get labeled as "I'll fix it later." But over time they quietly damage the impression of care and cleanliness. When guests visit, they don't just look at the big picture. Their eyes stop on things that look out of place. A cracked wall edge, an unpatched drill hole, a crooked light switch. These little flaws might seem small, but they send the message that the home is no longer being cared for. The fix doesn't require a contractor. Just take one weekend to walk through your space. Bring a small repair kit, a screwdriver, matching paint silicone sealant, cleaning cloths, and maybe a drop of oil. Fix one thing at a time. Tighten a screw, wipe a handle, patch a little crack. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. That's how you keep your home looking polished, like someone still cares. Is there something you meant to fix but forgot? Write it down today. We've just gone through 10 small mistakes that make a big difference in how fresh, bright, and cared for your home feels. The most important thing isn't to fix everything in one day. It's to realize that sometimes the feeling of my house still feels messy doesn't come from what you didn't clean, but from what you didn't notice. A streak on the mirror, a loose cord behind the table, a misplaced rug, a wilted plant you haven't replaced. Each of these is a reminder. A reminder that caring for your home isn't one big job, it's hundreds of little ones. Done gently, done regularly, done with love. You don't need to buy anything new. You don't need to repaint the walls. You don't need to redecorate. Just fix one mistake and your home will already feel a little newer. Pick one of the 10 today. Fix one thing, and day by day, your house will become the place you love living in. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell us which mistake you'll start with. Your support means everything to us. Thank you for watching to the end. We'll see you in the next video.